In junior high school, my deskmate was a girl who loved to brag. She said that her family had a large luxury apartment with a special piano practice room. Her mother loved her extremely. Her mother chose a car and planned trips according to her suggestions. She had never washed her underwear by herself until she was 13. When she was little, her breakfast was cooked in a way that required getting up at 5 o'clock to peel corn husks. But her hair was cut by herself like a dog had gnawed on it. As a boarding student, she couldn't afford sanitary pads and smelled bad. She only had one meal for breakfast and lunch. The trouser legs were almost up to her knees. She was so poor that there was no hiding it. Everyone hated her. Once when I was listening to a song, she started bragging again. I was so annoyed that I asked her, "Oh, now that you're like this, is your mother dead?" She hit me so hard that I had a nosebleed. My mother is the best mom in the world. Don't you talk about her. I'm like this now. Because my mother didn't see it. It would be better if my mother saw it. I covered my nose and jumped onto the table with a thud. Okay. Then call your best mom in the world to pay for my medical expenses now. Come on. I had been fed up with her for a long time. Except for having good grades and a fairly good-looking face. She was completely useless compared to me. But she had good grades. And the teacher just favored her. I was afraid that my father would scold me. So I had to hold my nose and apologize. I never talked to her again. Unexpectedly. In high school, my father paid a tuition fee of 100,000 yuan for me. She actually got into the same school and the same class as me again. On the first day of school, my father still remembered her and greeted her with a smile, saying that we should help each other. Especially her, with good grades, should help me a lot. She readily agreed. I'm older. I'm the elder sister. It's what an elder sister should do. I hope we can still be desk mates. She talked to us with a smile and started bragging again, saying that her mother was very happy that she did so well in the exam and would reward her with a bag. She started bragging again, looking at the torn plastic bag she was carrying. I really wanted to ask her if the bag her mother was going to give her was that plastic bag. But when I saw her face, I held back again. After a summer vacation, there was an additional scar on her right cheek. From the jaw to the neck, looking red, white and scabby like it was caused by scalding with boiling water. Now, she has one less advantage. Only good grades are left. When I improve my grades, let's see if my father praises her or me then. Too, I didn't expect that we really became deskmates again. I was extremely annoyed. But she told everyone everywhere that I was a particularly nice person. We were classmates in junior high school. At first, everyone took it in. I didn't want to damage my good image. When others asked me, I just nodded reluctantly. She was still bragging, boasting that her mother loved her. She bragged in the class and in her compositions. She wrote with such sincerity that the Chinese teacher was moved to tears. She said it again, and again. And the classmates were stunned. I found it funny. Everyone isn't stupid. Love is so obvious. When recharging the cafeteria card every week, I never saw her do it. At least not for a month. No matter how cheap the dishes in the cafeteria are. Vegetarian dishes cost 2 yuan. Steamed buns cost 1 yuan. And soup is simply not enough to fill you up. Is she cultivating immortality? Sometimes I deliberately bought an extra steamed bun or steamed stuffed bun and then said I couldn't eat it. She still looked very reluctant. Okay then. I'll just have one. My mother doesn't allow me to eat other people's things casually. She had a very old and broken mobile phone. She said it was given to her by her mother who bought it from abroad. It was very old and would run out of power every 2 or 3 days. Every time, she would ask classmates to help her charge it with 1 or 2 yuan. Her mobile phone was bad. But she liked to call her mother. At 9 o'clock every night. When her phone was out of power, she would borrow mine to make a call. I didn't lend it to her. She would borrow the phones of the boys and girls sitting behind her who were usually not so polite to her and call her mother. When she returned it, she would be very careful to delete the phone number. There's no way. My mother is very clingy to me, and requires me to call her every day. I'll delete this number. My mother is very busy. It would be bad if she accidentally pressed it later. As a result, when I checked the communication records, crazy. The call was never connected at all. If it wasn't connected, why did she talk for so long? So vain. And she loves to lie. I was too lazy to expose her so that she could lend me her notes to copy. But one night, when she was using my phone again, Stella passed by and clicked on the speakerphone. It was all dense, busy tones. Stella immediately burst out laughing. She winked at me. Hey. This is the first time I've heard that one can have a conversation with busy tones. Have you heard of it? She always finds excuses to borrow your phone. Isn't it that she likes you? One of Stella's lackeys immediately started making a fuss loudly and sang an old song, I like you, in a drawn-out tone. Half of the class started making a fuss. I like you. I heard that you were desk mates in junior high school. I heard that her family has a large luxury apartment. Congratulations, son-in-law. And there's a special piano practice room. So rich. Her mother loves her so much. The mother-in-law looks at the son-in-law with increasing favor. Wow. She never washed her own underwear until she was 13. You won't have to wash yours in the future either. She opened her mouth wide and tears welled up immediately. But as soon as she spoke, it was, my mother is really very good to me. She really is. She has been very good to me since I was little. Don't talk like this. My family really has a large luxury apartment. My mother personally decorated a piano practice room for me. I practice for 2 hours every day. If it's not enough, she will educate me. These scars are because she loves me that she hit me. From beginning to end. She didn't explain anything about liking or not liking at all. She just repeated her mother's clumsy lie again and again. Buzzing. I felt the blood rush up to my head. I suddenly slapped the table. Even if she likes me, I have to like her too. Look at her horrible appearance. As soon as I said that, I regretted it. I originally wanted to talk about character. But Bella suddenly closed her mouth and looked up at me abruptly. I didn't dare to look into her eyes. Even less could I bring myself to apologize. I could only push aside those boys who were making a fuss in anger and walk out directly. 3. She stopped talking to me. This was not all. She also wanted to change seats. During the break before the end of evening self-study, she asked one by one who was willing to change seats with her. No one paid attention to her. Many girls didn't like her. She was slovenly, didn't love being clean, and also loved lying. The boys were all making a fuss. They jeered and said they didn't dare to touch Brother Dong's dumpling. She was still asking. As if she couldn't understand human language. After asking around a circle, no one agreed. She could only stand back beside me. The second self-study session was about to begin. When the bell rang, if she wanted to go inside, she had to take the initiative to speak and ask me to move my chair a bit. She looked down at me, with her messy bangs hanging down. Silent. I had held it in and hadn't gone to the bathroom for a whole class. Could I move? We were in a silent confrontation. I was twirling a pen in my hand. All my peripheral vision was on her. As long as she called my name from the beginning and said, "Excuse me," to just calling my name, and then to just coughing once. But she didn't. Just when I couldn't hold back and was about to speak, Stella spoke up. She was willing to change. Stella was in front of me, so she sat in front of me. Her desk mate was Leo. Leo talked a lot and was easy to deceive. For copying homework, he was willing to listen to her boasting. I was annoyed by what I saw. I am a bad person. When I see something annoying, I can't help it. One day, she was telling Leo again about how her mother accompanied her to practice the piano when she was young. She said her mother was very obedient to her. If she said her hand hurt, her mother would hold her fingers and massage them one by one, and then blow on them, with a very proud look. I said, Your mother loves you so much. Why doesn't she give you money for meals? You ate Leo's food again this morning. Why should he give you food? Aren't you ashamed? Every day? Your mother taught you really well. Her face flushed red in an instant, and she stood up abruptly. I also stood up. Now. Without standing on the table. I was a head taller than her. What's wrong? She paused and then sat down again. She still didn't talk to me. She turned to Leo and said, "My mom is the best mom. My mom is fair. Over the years, I have spent a lot more money than my sister. Living expenses, accommodation fees, tuition fees. When these bills are added up and the change is removed, it's at least 200,000. So she strictly controlled her expenses. She said that when her mother was studying, she brought her own rice to school to steam. She didn't have so much living expenses. Her sister's classmate in the countryside only had 10 yuan a week when in high school. So, I will study hard. I must be the first. My mother will be proud of me. She will be very happy." Her big black eyes were almost on Leo's face. In her eyes, there were only words like, certainly, and definitely. Leo was busy copying her homework. Oh. Suddenly. I don't know why. I had an indescribable strangeness. I hummed in a low voice. Okay. So what? She didn't speak anymore. She said again and again, "My mother will definitely be proud of me." After that, she ignored me again. Similarly, she also ignored Leo. She began to study even harder. I secretly felt pleased looking at this. But she didn't eat. She really looked thinner and thinner. During evening self-study, she drank at least 3 bottles of water. I am a moral person. I don't kill Bo Ren. But Bo Ren starves to death because of me. That won't do. For I gave Leo 500 yuan and told him to ask Bella to give him tutoring and provide meals for her. Leo's mouth opened wider and wider as he said, "Oh." I raised my fist. I can't stand people like you who only copy homework without working hard. How can you be the successor of socialism? Just say whether you agree or not. Leo shrank his head and chose to agree. She gave Leo lectures every noon, and during evening self-study. Strangely, when the teacher taught, I couldn't understand. But when she taught, if Leo didn't understand, I would understand. It seems that our IQs are about the same. It wouldn't be difficult for me to get the second place in at most one semester. I am really a buried genius. But one day during evening self-study quiz, I handed in my paper early and secretly went to the bathroom to play games. Just at a critical moment, I suddenly heard noise outside. I thought the grade director was coming and was in a hurry. Suddenly, I heard her scream. I went out. A brother punched my shoulder. Damn it. Don't you go and have a look? Your wife is about to be beaten to death by your mother-in-law. Damn you. I quickened my pace. Then I saw the most unforgettable scene. A fairly beautiful middle-aged woman grabbed her messy short hair and dragged her from the 3rd floor to the 1st floor to beat her. So many steps. Falling down one by one. She scolded Bella for being shameless. They were both daughters of the Bay family. Why was her elder sister so well-behaved while she was so cheap? If someone hadn't told her, she wouldn't have known that a person could be so despicable. For a 20 yuan bun, she held hands and kissed someone. That useless Leo stood by, blushing and stammering that we didn't kiss. We just bought her a meal. Her mother cursed and said she was a reincarnation of a hungry ghost. Finally, she couldn't bear it anymore. She said, "Mom, I'm hungry." Her mother said, "Did I shortchange you? Every month, I ask your sister to bring you living expenses. You still aren't satisfied. How much more do you want?" They argued. Finally, she cried and said, "Okay then. Give me Dad's money. I don't want the share you left for my sister. I want Dad's money." So this is what you were waiting for. So this is what you were waiting for. White-eyed wolf. Her mother was so angry that she trembled. Looking around, she picked up a flower pot nearby and directly smashed it on her head. She said that now don't even think about dividing the family property unless I die. Warm blood flowed down her face. She was extremely embarrassed. So this is the mother who, in her mouth, loves her to the extreme? So this is the mother for whom she quietly returned the tutoring cookies and wanted to save money to buy a gift? The classmates pointed and whispered. I rushed over. Stella firmly held me back and said, Don't. Do you want her to be beaten to death? Bella was like a baby beast that had been skinned. She cried and said, Mom, didn't you say that you should be fair? My sister made progress and went to a travel summer camp. I also got third place. Third place in the whole grade. It's a very good result. There are more than 200 people in our grade. Mom, look at me. You said you could get first place. So boastful? It turns out it's only third place. Useless thing. Her mother took away her ID card and then walked out. If it weren't for having a stomachache during the exam. Mom, I just want some living expenses to eat. I just want to eat some meat. I don't want to faint when running. I don't want to have cramps when having my period. Don't I deserve it? Her mother didn't look back and said, Right. You don't deserve it. I don't have a daughter like you who is puppy love and supports a man. She buried her head and knelt on the ground crying. Thunderbolts cracked one after another in the sky. With each explosion, she trembled in fear. Her mother left. But she still wouldn't give up and shouted, Mom, don't go. I will definitely be first next time. I shook off Stella's hand and walked over to hold an umbrella for her. Suddenly, as if coming to her senses, she grabbed my umbrella and ran to hold an umbrella for her mother who was walking away. I was so angry that I turned around and left. Tomorrow. I must scold her severely. How can she be like this? Is she bewitched by her mother? I didn't sleep well all night, repeatedly thinking about what harsh words would be most useful for her mind. In the middle of the night, I got up again and ordered medicinal wine and bandages for her. I thought, I'm really crazy. As a result, after thinking all night, the next morning, when I arrived at the classroom, I saw my umbrella on my desk. There was also a note underneath. Thank you. I'm sorry. The umbrella was accidentally damaged a bit. I didn't fix it. I'll compensate you next time. The ribs of the umbrella were broken. Several of them. It wasn't accidentally damaged at all. It was clearly broken in a frenzied way. I held the umbrella that was in a terrible mess, feeling a breath running around in my heart and mind. Bella never came back. She suspended school. My umbrella, which cost 50 yuan, was never compensated to me. I'm petty-minded and remember it firmly. 5. I wanted to find her, but she was like mud disappearing into the sea. Without any news. The head teacher said she transferred schools. How could she just transfer schools? After she quit the class group, I realized that she hadn't added a single friend. Thinking of when she was in junior high school and asked us one by one to add friends in the yearbook. But none of us moved. I really regretted it so much that my intestines were broken. I went to her community to look for her. I spent 100 yuan to rent takeout clothes and knocked on the door. I thought of 30 excuses and pretexts. I knocked on the door for a long time, but found that they had moved away a week ago. A neighbor next door said that they had moved away for a week. They said the child changed to another school. I asked which child. The old lady curled her lips and said, Who else could it be? The one you like. My face flushed immediately and I quickly denied it. The old lady said that Bella's mother was scolding everywhere in the community. Everyone knows that she has puppy love. As soon as she saw me acting sneaky like this, she knew that I was looking for Bella. I stammered and said that I wasn't having puppy love. I came to ask for money. Bella owes me money. The big sister suddenly sighed. She said that Bella grew up under her watch. Only then did I know. Before Bella's mother married her father, she had another marriage. Her ex-husband was a good-looking blonde who was alcoholic and violent. Her mother was beaten badly, and left her daughter who was only a few months old and divorced and ran away. Later, after marrying Bella's father, she began to think about her daughter who had suffered before. When she was young, Bella also learned all kinds of specialties. Later, after her sister came in the second year of junior high school, her mother slowly cut off all these for her. Her sister can't dance, can't sing, and can't draw. When she sees her singing and playing musical instruments, she sheds tears by herself. Her mother said, "They are all children of the Bay family. There can be no special treatment." At that time, Bella was young and angrily shouted at her mother, "No, it's not. It's not. She's not born by my dad. Her dad is bad at playing cards and drinking. Her name is Claire, not Bella. Just because she can't learn it doesn't mean I can't learn it." Why? Her sister didn't say anything at that time. The next night, there was a heavy rain. Her sister left home alone, wearing pajamas, and without taking a single cent. Her mother almost went crazy. Bella stumbled and took an umbrella, and chased after her to hold an umbrella for her. Her mother, however, snatched the umbrella and threw it away and scolded her as an ungrateful wolf cub. Bella was so scared that she cried loudly and said she was wrong. Her mother kicked her and made her kneel in the rainy night and kept scolding her. "If you can't find your sister, you kneel here until you die. And why? Because I am your mother. This is what you owe me. What you owe your sister. You are so calculating. Do you still expect you to support me in the future? Heartless thing." Bella cried in the rain until she almost convulsed. The dog at her home ran out desperately and dragged her clothing corner towards home. She hugged the dog and cried loudly. No matter who called her, she didn't dare to move a step. Later, until almost dawn, her mother and sister finally came back. Her sister was found in her father's hospital. It is said that when her mother found her, she was kneeling in front of her stepfather's empty hospital bed. Bella's father's condition was repeatedly unstable, and he had just been pushed into the emergency room. Her sister cried and told her mother that she came to see her father. After coming here, she had long regarded her uncle as her own father. Countless nights. How much she wanted a father like Bella's father. She didn't want a father who beat people either. But she didn't have one. Her mother left when she was less than a year old. Her mother hugged her sister and cried. And that night, her father didn't survive that night. Bella waited all night and got the news of her father's death. When her mother came back with her sister in her arms, she didn't look at her from the beginning to the end. The old lady said, "This child was once held in the palms of her parents for more than 10 years. Her parents loved her so much that they could see through her from top to bottom. But suddenly, she changed from a little princess to a nuisance. Alas, her mother says every day that she killed her father. When she cries, her elder sister cries even harder. You don't know. Her elder sister shows her misery every day. She has more wiles than a lotus seed pod. She always bullies her accurately. Her mother forces her to admit every day that she killed her father. How can she admit it? Her mother hates her to death. How could she care about her anymore?" Sighing and rambling on. Finally, she asked me, "How much money does she owe you?" "I'll pay it for her." 6. I returned to school. My dad was in the office. As soon as we met, he slapped me. "You little bastard. You said I was seriously ill and you went to visit me." I sneezed all afternoon. "Where did you go? Did you go out and mess around?" I asked my dad sentimentally. "Do you think there are really parents in this world who are so partial that they treat their own child as an enemy?" My dad hit me on the head again. "What are you talking about? It's useless to mention 19 generations of ancestors. What on earth did you do?" I said I went to ask for money. My dad became a little nervous all of a sudden and asked me if someone had bullied me. His eyes began to look at the class teacher. Then he asked me if I had got the money. I said no, but I would get it. I told him not to worry about it. 7 people are really so damn cheap. When little Shell was around, I found everything about her unpleasant. I didn't like that Leo either. When I saw them talking in front of me, I got irritated. It affected my study. When I heard my buddies joking about me and Lil Shell, my blood rushed to my head. I couldn't wait to cut off all ties with her. I even wanted to make a big poster to announce to the world that we were just people of the same nationality. I even deliberately talked about the ideal type of the girl I liked when she came in. Everything was completely opposite to her. Long hair, small eyes, big mouth, pointed face. My buddy frowned and asked me if I was perverted and liked long-haired bulldogs. Little Shell had no expression, as if she hadn't heard anything. But I clearly saw her tug at her short hair uneasily when she sat down. But after she was gone, I suddenly found everything round, short-haired and small-mouthed pleasing to the eye. Even that Leo. When I heard his, oh, I found it pleasant to the ear. I asked him to give me lectures. Especially those lectures that Little Shell had given him. Every step couldn't be missed and the modal particles had to be correct. After many times, Leo began to avoid me and looked embarrassed. Brother Jeremy, I actually like girls. Get lost. Wait. Come back. Finish this problem. Did you pay attention? You missed a sentence. Let's look here. I might have been infected by Lil Shell in the head. When I went home on the weekend, when I saw a stray border collie on the road, I thought the way the dog was gnawing looked like Lil Shell's gnawed bangs. I called out, "Little Shell." That skinny dog immediately ran over, sniffed me, and wagged its tail wildly. I'm crazy. I, who has always hated dogs, actually find it very pleasing to the eye. I took it home. Aunt looked at me in surprise. Whose is it? Mine. I introduced to Aunt. It's called Little Shell. Stella sat beside me and talked less and less. In the second month, she suddenly told the teacher that she wanted to change seats. Before leaving, she gave me an address. It's class 3. She told me. What I got was the name of a high school in a rather remote township. Just by taking a look at that address, I suddenly realized and stood up immediately after self-study class. The class teacher looked at me. I said, "My dad is sick. This time it's a very serious illness. I have to go and see him." I took the train overnight and went to that city. It was 3 o'clock in the morning when I got out of the station. Looking at my 1.85-meter tall figure and red eyes, the motorcycle taxi driver refused to take me to the township below. I scanned a shared bicycle at the station. Guided by navigation all the way, I pedaled hard for more than 3 hours. I was chased by 2 fierce dogs for half a mile. Finally, I arrived at that junior high school. At more than 6 o'clock in the morning, there were already people selling breakfast outside. I parked my bike shakily and bought a bowl of hot porridge. After drinking it and recovering, I went to the next shop that had opened and bought a steamer of small steamed buns. There was a security guard at the school gate. I found a girl and helped her carry her school bag. Then I successfully sneaked into the school. The school was very new. Occasionally, 2 students who were smoking and rubbing their eyes and obviously had been up all night wharfed by yawning. I asked 2 students and arrived at the quiet 3rd floor. I went upstairs in one breath. Yes. It was class 3, grade 1 on the 3rd floor. I stood at the classroom door and suddenly didn't dare to move. I didn't know why I had run over all night. What did I come for? What did I come for with a steamer of buns? There was no one in the classroom. I turned on the light. Standing on the podium, I looked down. There was no seating chart. But at a glance, in the second to last row where the books were in a mess, it was the position of the previous class. As if by some magic, I walked over and opened the top book. Sure enough, hey, it was really Little Shell's name. Still so careless and into ID. Before the smile on my face could fade away, I saw 3 very glaring words written in red pen below. Bella. Then there were big X's. The last 2 pages of the book were glued or something. I carefully tore it open. The handwriting inside was somewhat blurred. It seemed to have been stuck many times. Opened. Torn off. The carefully copied words inside were stuck again and then torn off. Suddenly, I felt a throbbing in my temples. It seemed that I suddenly woke up a bit. The scenes and smells around me all became clear. I looked down further. I saw that the drawer of the desk was full of garbage and it was very dirty. It was the garbage in the trash can in the toilet. It seemed to be newly dumped. I even saw a blood-stained sanitary napkin. The chair is wobbly. One of its legs is unstable. The table is in a mess. The pens are broken into several sections. The two good ones are all wrapped with adhesive tape. I moved the table to the podium. Then I sat in the adjacent position. The first person to come in for morning reading was a girl. At first glance, she was a good student. She was thin. She walked with her head lowered and didn't dare to look people in the eyes. She stood beside me and asked me to give up my seat. In a low voice, she asked me who I was looking for. I said I heard there was a girl named Bella in your class. The thin girl's expression was somewhat complicated. She immediately glanced at the door and said, "Are you also here to cause trouble for her?" I said I was her childhood friend. From her, I finally learned what kind of life Bella was living here. Cold water was poured on the bed. Textbooks were torn. She was dragged to the toilet to stand guard and clean. The cause was very simple. On the first day Bella transferred here, everyone knew that she was transferred because of puppy love and promiscuity. Bella's elder sister once studied here. When she sent her younger sister here, she bought high-end snacks for all the school bullies and hooligans. She said that the Bay family is not short of money. These are just a small token of appreciation. Please take good care of Bella in the future. But Bella had no money. The hooligans didn't believe it. After being slapped for the first time, Bella called her mother to ask for money. In the speakerphone was her mother's impatient voice. "Money, money, money. Didn't you say it? Money belongs to your elder sister. None of it is mine. Your elder sister used to have 10 U on a week for school. You've doubled it. What else do you want?" But Bella's elder sister doesn't live on campus and only has one lunch. Everyone quickly determined that Bella had no money and no one to protect her. "No wonder you never mention your mother. So your mother hates you so much?" Bella didn't explain this time. The muted phone on the other side wasn't hung up. It was her mother's affectionate voice asking her elder sister, "If you really like that bag, just buy it. My baby deserves anything." Bella lowered her head for the first time. And next day, because Bella asked for directions to the toilet and said a few words to Tiffany's boyfriend, she was dragged to the teaching building and severely beaten up. She was punched and kicked. The scar on her neck was specially grabbed and stretched. Tiffany didn't shy away at all. "I'm beating you up. Do you know Claire? That's my boss. She told me a long time ago that you are cheap. You seduce boys at school. Now you're seducing my man?" Tiffany is now Bella's desk mate and roommate. It's a specially adjusted position. I got Tiffany's phone number and called her. Her first sentence was a hum. "What? I have a boyfriend." I asked her when she would come to the classroom. "I have something for her and her boyfriend. Come and take a look together." She chuckled. "What? Do you really want to compete with him? I'm not so easily fickle." "Well, let's see the strength." At nearly 7 o'clock, Tiffany came. Bella didn't come. There were 2 girls following Tiffany. They said with a giggle that the bitch's quilt was wet last night. She didn't sleep all night. They also said that Bella was so ugly and her face was ruined. Even if she went out, no one would want her. When she saw me, her eyes lit up slightly. "It's you who are looking for me." I stood up. Her eyes swept over the logo on my coat and shoes. A smile was already on her face. "Who are you? I don't seem to have seen you before. I'm here specially to invite you to have breakfast." Tiffany glanced proudly at the 2 girls beside her. With a curl of her mouth, she walked towards me. "Really haven't seen you? Who are you? Is it someone who came to eat with Sister Claire last time?" I stretched out my hand. When my hand pinched her chin, her face flushed and she actually closed her eyes. The next second she screamed. Because I directly used my gloved hand to pinch her mouth with one hand and stuff all the toilet paper in the desk compartment into her mouth. She screamed in horror, with her mouth wide open. Just right. More could be stuffed. Soon, her stunned companions reacted and called her boyfriend. Just in time. The school bully asked me for money. Without 3 to 5,000 yuan. This matter couldn't be settled. After taking the money, I punched him to the ground. Then I directly fed him what his girlfriend had spit out. He wanted to hit me. I conveniently dislocated his arm. All these years of being beaten by my dad weren't for nothing. The two of them vomited in a mess. That weak male hooligan quickly called a third one. Before he even entered the door, I pressed him to the ground and rubbed him. As soon as one came in, I slapped him away. As soon as one came in, I pushed him against the wall and then knocked him down. The last one to come in was a middle-aged man. The first sentence he said when he saw me was, "Wait. I am a teacher." I was taken to Howard's office. Before going in, I bumped into the door. Instantly, blood gushed out of my nose. The front of my shirt was all red. When I went in, the expressions of the 6 hooligans with ugly faces outside were even uglier. Howard asked me. I said they insulted my dad and called my dad a dog. That's why I hit them. The evidence was the wailing dog and son of a bitch in the mobile phone video. This is clearly what they said only when you were hitting them. Howard. Look. I've already taken action, and they're still using such vulgar language to scold me. Just imagine how bad it would be if I hadn't taken action. These people bully men and women and even rob money. Robbing 3,000 yuan is enough for sentencing. Right? Obviously you gave it yourself. Frame up. Those hooligans wouldn't let it go. Saying they would make me drop out of school. Saying I was engaged in school bullying. And saying I bullied people by relying on my strength. Tiffany was crying loudly and said she was unwilling to reconcile under any circumstances, and it was even more impossible for her to write an apology letter. The school was still trying to smooth things over as always. There is no surveillance. No evidence. And there will be no witnesses. 10 so right in front of everyone. I took out Tiffany's phone, but I picked up and directly called Claire. Bella's elder sister. It took a long time for the call to be answered on the other end. I pressed the local mute button. The first sentence after answering was, "Didn't I just give you money? Next time if you want more money, change some photos." 2 seconds later, Claire was a bit angry. "I'm not talking about you all. Apart from slapping and pouring cold water, there is no creativity at all. Didn't I tell you to go find my despicable father? He is the best at dealing with people. It's best to let him recognize this little bitch, and let her live the life I lived. Only then will it not be in vain for her to come." I turned to look at Howard. Howard's face looked a bit ugly. I asked these hooligans to kneel down and apologize to Bella. This is not difficult. Howard said that as long as the matter doesn't spread outside and I delete the recording on my phone, it won't be a problem. 11 at the staircase entrance to the teaching building. Tiffany's face changed again and again. In the end, she and several hooligans knelt down. The students along the way pointed and whispered, walking back and forth from a distance to look. When Bella came over, she instinctively wanted to avoid it. She was stopped by Howard's assistant and motioned for her to walk forward. She walked over with her head down. Those hooligans had livid faces. Reluctant but had to force out smiles and called her name. "We were wrong before. Sorry." Bella was stunned for a moment and stared at them blankly. They were trying to smile, sorry. But the malice in their eyes was not concealed at all. These hooligans are bullies who are afraid of the tough and have no credibility. Bella must not stay in this place anymore. 12 I washed the nosebleed on my face with cold water and called my dad. My dad was extremely angry. I heard the hushing wind. The car window was closed and the sound on the phone was even louder. "Where are you?" I went to ask for money. Ask for money? Damn it. You told the head teacher that I had a serious illness? Unfilial wretch. You deserve to be struck by lightning. The Jeremy family is really suffering retribution. Your mother had such good grades and was so smart. How could she give birth to such a disappointing troublemaker like you? Dad. I want to study hard now. I plan to be able to get into the top 20 in my grade by the end of the term. Can you do me a favor, Dad? With your poor grades. Still top 20. It's doubtful if you can even get into a junior college. Wait. What did you say? There was a short silence. My dad said, top 10 in the grade. I said, okay. My dad asked, say. What favor? For top 10 in the grade. Your dad can't do anything illegal like murder or arson. Do a public welfare activity. Help me donate to a poor student. Support poor students with scholarships. Are you in love? Wretch, no. It's just a former classmate who owes me money. She has good grades and is third in the grade. If you don't believe me, ask your comrade in arms. My head teacher. 13 after hanging up the phone. I went to Howard's office again. His attitude was completely different. He even took out his own white shirt for me to change into. If Bella wants to transfer schools, we will definitely cooperate. In fact, her student status hasn't been transferred over. She just came to study temporarily. Howard paused. The key is that Bella may not be willing. She was sent here by her mother herself. When she came, she said she would study well for 3 full years. 14 entering the teaching building from the overpass of the administrative building, and going down 3 floors. I suddenly met Bella, who had just come up the stairs. The sunshine is very good. The cold in early winter is just right. In the south, frost has fallen, and sparrows and crows are flapping and circling. I went down to the first step. In the alternating light and shadow, my sight suddenly fell on a face in the sunlight. She was slowly going up along the corner of the stairs. One hand was subconsciously pressing on the subtle scar on her neck. She was slender and beautiful. Just like a certain ancient poem in the textbook that I can't memorize. She has lost weight again. Her gaze passed over me and continued upward. After a while, she looked back at me again. After taking 2 steps, she looked back at me again. For the 3rd time, she finally recognized me. In her hand was a notebook that she had written all night, writing bit by the light of the toilet. She asked me, Jeremy, why are you here? Well, are you okay recently? Her eyes shifted away immediately. Pretty good. Still okay. Lying again. I looked at her. Why has her face become smaller again? Her eyes are even bigger. And her hair has grown a bit. It covers part of the scar on her neck. She was also looking at me. After looking at me for a few seconds, she was thinking all the time. After thinking for a long time, it seemed that she came to her senses. She reached into her clothes and took out something. She took out a few pieces of loose money. By the way, I remember now. I still owe you 50. I still remember that umbrella. I went down 1 step. And she went up 1 step. I reached out my hand. She also reached out her hand. Her eyes always on the money. Old and neatly arranged 10 yuan, 5 yuan, and 1 yuan bills. That thin hand that seems like it could be broken with a single grasp. I grabbed her wrist in one go. She widened her eyes. At this moment, the sharp bell for class rang. She suddenly seemed to understand something. She saw the remaining blood on my shirt through the collar. She turned her head and looked at the place where the hooligans had apologized just now. She opened her mouth. I directly took her and walked out. I walked to the classroom and began to pull out her school bag and pack her books one by one. Bella stood there all the time. It wasn't until I kicked her reel and desk to the ground that her eyes suddenly turned red. Along the way, we met her classmates, teachers, and Howard. They just looked at us. Why? Debt collection. The school gate is just ahead. We are only 1 step away from getting out. She looked back at the classroom. But, change to another school. Tears immediately streamed down Bella's face. 15 when the car arrived. The driver kept winking at me, reminding me to speak nicely. My dad's face was livid. He first looked at me, and then at Bella. I reminded him. 10th in grade. 3rd in grade. My dad took a deep breath with a cold face and handed me the tablet in his hand. I just asked. These schools are all quite good. On the way back, my dad sent me a message in the car, asking if I liked someone. I flatly denied it. How could it be possible? My dad snorted coldly in the front passenger seat. After a while, he sent me a picture of a dog. Why are you raising someone else's dog? He even found Bella's previous group photo with a collie. On the ground, one person and one dog were smiling as youthfully and lovely. The sunlight was reflected on her face. That was exactly the appearance of being loved as she had described before. In terms of due diligence, my dad has always been meticulous. I knew he was looking at me, but at that moment, I couldn't look away. After a while, I replied, "If I say it's a coincidence, do you believe me?" My dad snorted coldly again. Bella was a bit uneasy and glanced at me. I immediately said, "Bella, don't think too much. Don't be self-indulgent either. I help you purely to help my dad. My dad's company's public welfare activities for this year haven't been completed yet, and he's worried and impatient." This time, my dad didn't snort. He looked at me in the rearview mirror for 3 seconds and sent me one word. Coward. What coward? The old guy is overthinking. He can't understand the kindness of young people. He thinks too much when he sees a beautiful woman. I help her purely like picking up small shells. Feeling sorry for her. Yes. That's it. 16 at first. Bella was still worried that her mother would look for her and be worried. But it never happened. From calling back to the original school every week at the beginning to once every 2 weeks and then once a month later. She hasn't seen her mother for a long time. During winter vacation, in order to earn living expenses, she went to work as a waitress in a hotel. As a result, her sister was having a wedding ceremony in the hotel. She came back very early that day and even cooked dinner early. She left a note saying that she was a little tired and wanted to go to bed early. As soon as I saw the note, I knew she was lying. Later, the lobby manager called my dad. After listening to a few words, I directly went to the monitoring room and watched the surveillance footage. In the picture, she, who was about to leave with her head down, was stopped by Claire in a long formal dress. The first sentence her mother said, when walking over with a wine glass, was to scold her. "You're a waitress here? Who are you pretending for? Are you only satisfied if you make your sister look bad in front of everyone? You. Speak up. Who are you pretending to be pitiful for? Have I ever deprived you of food or drink? Are you here to embarrass me?" I can't forget the sad look in her eyes when she looked at her mother. The lobby manager hurried in, and she could still apologize. "Manager, I'm sorry. I've caused you trouble." But her mother was infuriated and slapped her in the face. "You shameless thing. You apologize to outsiders but are stubborn with your family? Have you apologized for killing your dad? Have you apologized for making your sister cry? You also said that your sister angered your dad. Get out. Get out." She loudly publicized Bella's misdeeds of failing exams, stealing family money, and even being infuriated her dad to other relatives. Rotten to the core. Spending all the money in 3 days. Can't tolerate your own sister and still tattle on her. With such poor grades and being unfilial, can you be relied on in the future? Her sister is so good at pretending. Okay, Mom. My younger sister is still young and just wants money and is being temperamental. Don't get too angry and spoil your health. Her mother became even angrier. Good. I want to see how much temper you have. Want money, right? Since you can do it on your own, then don't ask me for money. She forgot that the last time Bella asked her for living expenses was 2 months ago. She forgot that her younger daughter is also not yet 18 years old, and is still a student. Even with an appetite as small as a cat, she still needs to eat every day. She even forgot the look on her eldest daughter's face when I sent those recordings of Claire to her and urged her to watch them carefully. Listening to only one side makes one blind. Being overly partial makes one foolish. The music started, and the hotel ceremony continued quickly according to the auspicious time. When Bella walked out of the hotel, a 5-layer birthday cake was pushed out. The words "Happy Birthday Claire" were written on it with chocolate. This is the new name her mother gave to her sister. Her sister wanted a dad, so her mother gave her a dad. She took her under her wing, gave her a surname, and gave her a family. Her mother said she was being fair. But in the end, all that bowl of water was given to that green tea bully. 16 when I got home. My temples were still throbbing. The plates on the dining table were covered. I thought for a while, looked around, and poured 2 full large cups of hot water on them. Her room door is not locked. I knocked on the door, waited for a while, opened it, and went in. The curtain is not drawn. The moonlight flows upward against the current, and the glow is as clean as washed. The bedding bulges with a head and trembles slightly. I put the water on the table. Obviously she used to. She said from inside the bedding. Feelings can change. A wind rose outside and the branches rattled. My tone that was originally about to curse unconsciously weakened. What one liked before, one may not like now. What one didn't like before, maybe one likes it now. People can change. What am I saying? Suddenly, my ears feel hot as if I had seen a ghost. Bella said, "But some feelings won't change. Jeremy, don't you think so?" As soon as I heard the name, my face suddenly began to feel hot too. Yes, some may not change. She lifted the quilt, raised her head, her face full of tears, and looked up at me. Jeremy, but why? When it's my turn, it changes? 17 on the moments on her lit mobile phone is a photo of her green tea sister. The caption is extremely nauseating, "My dearest daughter." And these addresses originally belonged to Bella. At first, her mother said that Bella had enjoyed blessings over the years, counting living expenses, accommodation fees, and tuition fees. Even after removing the change, it is several $100,000 and more than her sister. A bowl of water must be held level. Sending her to the countryside is to let her learn to be grateful and remember the hardships and think of the sweetness. When she stops talking back to her sister, and can tolerate her sister, then she can go back. But, do you know what Claire is like? Bella said. Her sister always looks pitiful. But every word she says and everything she does is like scratching nails on glass. She is always angered by her sister, quarrels with her, scolds her, and tells her sister to get out. And then in the end, she is slapped to the ground by her mother. Her sister puts birth control pills in her meal, puts condoms in her school bag. At 11 o'clock at night, she calls her various subject teachers and says that although she is in love and reads pornographic novels, please don't be prejudiced against her. She is still a good student. During the summer vacation of the 3rd year of junior high school, her sister boiled water to cook instant noodles. When bringing it over, accidentally boiling water was spilled on Bella, who was sitting. It flowed down my chin to my neck. Amid Bella's screams, her sister cried even louder, covering her scalded red hand. She said to her mother in tears, "Mom, today is your birthday. I just wanted to cook noodles for you. It's understandable that my sister is angry. Don't blame my sister." Bella couldn't bear it anymore and screamed and wanted to hit her. But her mother grabbed her neck and dragged her out. She has a permanent scar on her chin and jaw, and at the same time loses the right to live at home. Her mother said that when she is admitted to college, she can go home again. Bella leans her head on the pillow sideways. Tears wet the pillow. She cried like this for the first time, silently shedding tears while talking. She finally asked me. My mother doesn't believe me. She says I am jealous. That I look down on her daughter and her. "I believe you," I said. After a while, Bella said, "Thank you. I will be admitted to college. We will both be admitted to a very good college. I gave her the cooled warm water. Yes. 18 Bella never went home again. She has a notebook full of expenses written on it. She records every single one. Even the expenses of small shells are recorded. Under my insistence, we split it half and half. I often look at that notebook. Sometimes I remind her. There is still a bottle of Coke. I bought it on the road. I only took a sip. The rest was drunk by you. 3 yuan. Don't forget it. Okay. Okay. She no longer does part-time jobs but studies with all her might. During the winter vacation of her second year of high school, at my suggestion, she had plastic surgery to repair and remove the scar on her face. After taking off the gauze wrapped for more than a month, her hair changes as quickly as her grades. In her third year of high school, her long hair reached her waist. After my dad noticed the two of us for 2 months, he believed in our revolutionary friendship and became overly enthusiastic about Bella again. You are classmates. You have to help each other a lot. Bella, as an elder sister, if Jeremy is wrong, scold him. If he doesn't listen, hit him hard. He is thick-skinned. The more he said, the more outrageous it got. Dad, she is only more than 20 days older than me. What elder sister? But she is still older than you. But I was born prematurely. Strictly speaking, looking at the pregnancy period, I am the elder brother. She has to call me elder brother. My dad didn't know what he thought of. He glanced at my mom's photo and his old face turned slightly purple. Shut up. 19 on the day of the college entrance examination. We were in the same examination room. When I came out after the last subject, I walked out. On the way, I met 2 classmates from the same class. They asked me the answer to the last question. After hearing it, they both shouted. If Jeremy said this, it must be wrong. Damn it. I shouldn't have changed it if I had known. At the school gate, it was noisy and lively everywhere. Someone said that Stella from a certain middle school is also taking the exam here. My buddy had to squeeze over to watch the excitement. Today's exam is over. I guess there will be a confession on the spot. I don't know which bastard will be lucky. I walked over and just saw Bella turn around. My buddy was slightly stunned. It seems a bit familiar. Bella walked towards us. My buddy took a deep breath and his chest circumference grew a circle. She is walking towards me. Oh my God. I knew it was right to wash my hair today. What should I say? Should I introduce myself first? Bella stood in front of him. Hello. Su Lin. My buddy started stammering. That I smiled. How did you do on the exam? Bella smiled. Not bad. What do you want to eat to celebrate tonight? I'll cook. My buddy finally finished the rest of his words. Damn. 20 when the grades were released. Bella looked at them for a long time. Her score was blocked. This is only the case for the top 50 in the province. After my dad praised her, he rarely praised me too. You didn't disgrace your mom. This grade is okay. When asking about the schools we have in mind, I subconsciously glanced at Bella. My dad privately asked me when I was going to stop being a coward. I showed him that notebook. Now if I say it, what's the difference from taking advantage of others' difficulties? Moreover, business is business. At that time, won't this money become a bad debt? That won't do. I said righteously. Do you think I'm right? Dad? My dad said. Right to your dad. I lowered my head and asked the wiggling little shell. Little shell. Do you think I'm right? Little shell lifted its leg and peed on my foot. Then ran away. 21 at this time. Bella's mom, who had been missing for a long time, suddenly remembered this daughter and asked her to come back, saying that after all, they are family and she misses her. Bella looked at that message for a long time, especially that sentence, I miss you. Her eyes were slightly red. She looked at me. I said, you decide. If you want to go and see. You won't lose a piece of flesh. Maybe my mom knows that I didn't lie and knows those things. Maybe. My mom just misses me. She said softly. Do you know? When I was a child, I loved to sleep in. Sometimes when I overslept, my mom would ask for leave for me from my teacher. I was picky about food and didn't like things with skins. My mom would remove the skin of steamed buns and corn for me. She also had a cookbook with all my favorite foods. Children lacking love always have fantasies. Hearts once wrapped in love always long for a return to the past. Her mom also asked her what she wanted to eat and would make it for her personally. She said she wanted to eat fried meatballs that she had eaten when she was a child. 20 to the address of the new home is in an upscale community. Her mom rented it, saying it is beneficial for her elder sister to find a partner in the future. I waited for her downstairs in the community. Then I saw her elder sister come back. Looking at Claire up close, her facial features are all under heavy makeup. Scheming is all over her face. When she passed by me, she had no expression at first. Just then my car key fell on the ground. She reached out to pick it up for me, and a smile appeared on her face. Are you also from this community? I haven't seen you before. I have a house but I haven't lived in it. My name is Claire. Nice to meet you. She smiled gently. After adding her, I looked through her moments with a blank expression. There were pictures of delicious food, travels, inspirational quotes, and a highbrow look. And the latest message is, what should you do if your most annoying relative suddenly comes to your house and won't leave? Seeking advice. Below there are her replies one by one. Yes. Very scheming. She's really ruthless in ruining her own face and framing others. Of course you have to be careful. But everyone knows what she's like. I continued to watch Bella's live video. This was strongly requested by me. I said I was afraid she would be at a disadvantage. More people means more witnesses. She used a small account with no fans to live stream. The audience is only me. When she reached the door and saw the password lock, she thought for a while and entered her elder sister's birthday. The door opened. Inside it was noisy. The house was full of relatives. From her grandma's side and her elder sister's side. Her mom was busy in the kitchen. Bella stood there for a while. Her mom came out and there was actually a smile on her face. Bella was a bit stunned. Her mom said her elder sister would be back soon. The whole family would have a meal today. The table was very large. Bella looked around. It was a small 3-bedroom. Her mom and her elder sister each had a room. There was also a room that was her elder sister's dressing room. She looked for a while and asked her mom where her dad's photo was. Her mom said that in a new house, it's afraid of being inauspicious. What's the point of putting it there? In the noisy room. Bella walked to her mom's dressing table. Her expression grew darker and darker. After searching for a long time inside, she found a black and white photo. Then her elder sister came back. A room full of people surrounded Claire. They kept praising Claire for being beautiful, for being good at studying, and for being able to study abroad. When her mom saw her eldest daughter come back, she immediately stated the purpose of asking Bella to come back. Because Claire's college major is not good. She is preparing to study abroad. Seeing that Bella has been relatively obedient in the past 2 years, she plans to give her a chance and ask her to accompany her elder sister to study abroad and take good care of her elder sister. Bella immediately calmed down. She said, I just finished the college entrance examination. Her mom said that anyway. She couldn't score much. Why waste money on going to a pheasant university? It's better to go abroad and broaden one's horizons. Another relative asked how much she scored. Bella said she was a blocked student in the college entrance examination. They all laughed and said that being blocked is just being caught cheating and having no score. Right? Then they continued to persuade Bella. All right. It's not for nothing that you go. If you go, your mom will buy you an insurance policy with $1 million coverage. Bella asked, who is the beneficiary? Her mom said, it must be a family member. Come. Sign it. I watched the number of viewers and fans in the live stream room soaring. The barrage was in an uproar. Damn. Is this really not a script? Netizens' breasts are also breasts. Is this a mom? What is this? These people are blind. Right? Obviously this girl is much prettier than her elder sister. Attached is a screenshot in front of the dressing mirror. I've really gained some insight. I know this girl. She's from our university. Didn't she always say she's an only child? A rich and beautiful girl? Just like this? This look is really enough. This younger daughter is here to go through tribulations in their family. Right? Damn. A blocked student in the college entrance examination goes to accompany her sister who is going to a foreign pheasant university. This mom must be a stepmother. Send a rocket. Sister. Hold on. Don't be PUAED. 23. The dishes were served on the table. In front of the floor-to-ceiling mirror in the living room, everyone sat around in a circle. Bella looked at the dishes in front of her, and was somewhat silent. I looked at the dishes in front of me and immediately called Bella. She glanced at it and hung up, then picked up her chopsticks. I continued to call, and she continued to hang up. She began to pick up dishes. A table full of shrimp dishes. Fried shrimp balls. Shrimp vermicelli. Boiled shrimp. Dry pot shrimp. Braised prawns in oil. And corn with shrimp. Bella is allergic to shrimp. Since childhood. But her mother made so many of these dishes on purpose. Because Claire likes them. Because she is afraid that Claire will think her mother is partial to her. Her mother did it on purpose. And she also knows that her mother did it on purpose. But she still took one bite after another. One bite after another. Eating until her mother was quiet. And eating until everyone at the table looked at her with strange eyes. Eating until Claire put down her chopsticks. Her mother opened her mouth and looked at her, seemingly wanting to say something. She also looked at her mother, waiting for her mother to speak. Little red dots and spots began to appear on her face, more and more along her cheeks. In the end, her mother didn't say a word. She just looked at her, silently looking at her, frowning at her. At that moment, bite by bite, all the faint expectations she had when she talked about her mother before, and those things she once said. Like my mom loves me. It's because my mom didn't see it. It will be fine when my mom sees it. All died. Bella looked at her mother and continued to move her chopsticks. Her eyes were calm, silent, and tacit, extinguished. Until I kicked open the door. She slowly turned her head. Claire stood up at once and asked me in surprise. You? Why are you here? I walked over and pulled Bella up. It's not worth it, I said. She looked up at me, breathing rapidly, and already had some difficulty speaking. The headache and vomiting made her extremely uncomfortable. Her body swayed, and she couldn't even stand up properly. I picked her up at once. Just as I was about to leave, her mother stopped me at once. Don't leave. Who are you? You can't leave until you make it clear. As soon as she said this, other relatives also vaguely realized. Her mother said. Just now Claire said that as soon as she came back. Bella went to my room. How do I know if she took anything? I have to search her first. Allergies can't be delayed. The ambulance is on its way. Another relative came over to pull Bella's clothing corner. I kicked him directly in the stomach. Who are you? You don't deserve to pull her. They all surrounded me. Fine. When the doctor came, I was covered in vegetable soup and my eyes were swollen. The house was in a mess. Several relatives were not having an easy time either. Their noses were bleeding and their mouths were full of shrimp. I took off my clothes for fear that the soup would get on Bella. And then picked Bella up again. Quickly. Don't look at me. Give me a hand. 24. When we arrived at the hospital, her mother still wouldn't give up. She followed us to the hospital and called the police, saying that she didn't know me and asking the police to arrest me for forcibly breaking into a private residence and committing robbery. The police frowned and looked at me covered in vegetable soup and asked me what I had robbed. I said I robbed a table full of shrimp and then made their whole family eat it all. Is it a crime? Bella's mother was so angry that her mouth trembled for a long time. Finally, she said that I came naked and robbed her daughter. I was almost amused by anger and wrapped Bella's coat on me in a mess. I asked her if she had any shame. Your daughter? Is she your daughter just because you gave birth to her? For so many years. The money you spent on her is not even as much as your removed hemorrhoids. For 2 years in junior high school. What kind of life did she live? Did she have a full meal? You married a jerk and made your eldest daughter miserable. Do you want her to suffer to make up for it? Scalded her face. Threw her to the countryside to be bullied. Didn't give her living expenses. And wrote your eldest daughter as the beneficiary of the insurance. Why? Are you still planning to send someone abroad to die and get the money? Such a good girl. If you had a little conscience, you wouldn't do any of these things. I called you and said Bella was being bullied. I sent you a USB flash drive. Did you see it? Did you take care of it? Now you say I took your daughter. I took her. I took her. So what? So what? Her mother immediately exploded. What do you know? What do you know? Do you know what kind of life Claire lived all those years? When Bella was drinking milk and enjoying herself. Claire was picking up dog shit in the countryside. When Bella was playing the piano. Claire was picking up bottles. She at least enjoyed more than 10 years. What about Claire? Claire lost her mother before she was 1 year old. She has suffered so much. Is it wrong for her to just want some fairness? It's none of her business. I sneered. Isn't it you who made your green tea like bad daughter miserable? It's you who chose a jerk. It's none of Bella's business. It's none of Bella's father's business. And she still has the nerve to be surnamed Bay. What right does Claire have to be surnamed Bay? The policemen all had different expressions. A patient watching forgot to turn off the sound. The sound in the live broadcast room was extremely loud. I almost forgot that the live broadcast was still going on. No one on the scene spoke. Claire finally noticed something was wrong, and hurriedly opened the live broadcast room. When she saw the hot search, her sneer turned into a look of shock and she burst into tears. Mom. 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 They did it on purpose. How can I show my face to others? Bella's mother shouted heartrending lie. With a howl. You just want to ruin my daughter. I'll fight you. I turned and ran behind the police. Uncle policeman. Save me. 25 When Bella woke up and was receiving an infusion, she unexpectedly got an account with hundreds of thousands of fans, and countless Black History emoji packs of me. The robbed series. The hemorrhoid removal series. The stuffed shrimp series. The rockets and rewards in the live broadcast room were astonishingly high, directly covering at least her tuition fees until graduate school. Bella was dumbfounded looking at all this. Then she wanted to give me half. I didn't want it. She handed me the notebook for keeping accounts together. This is what you deserve. You must take it. I was somewhat lost. Okay. I'll check it first. Maybe the accounts are wrong. Maybe you owe me money. When she felt a little better, the police came to ask Bella about the specific situation as a routine. Why did I forcefully break into a private residence? Bella, with a hoarse voice, said with difficulty. He didn't come to rob. We know each other. Know each other? Then what's your relationship? The young policeman had a serious expression. In his case, breaking into a private residence without any reason is suspected of creating a disturbance. Seriously. He could be detained. Bella looked panicked and said. He didn't do it without any reason. He is my boyfriend. The policeman coughed and glanced at me with a smile. Oh. I see. It seems to be an internal family dispute. Suddenly, my face was even hotter than when the hot soup was spilled on me that day. 26 The only thing Bella took out from the Bay family was a photo of her father. She blocked her mother and changed her mobile phone number. When the college entrance examination results were announced, the school had a congratulatory message as usual. Bella's guardian, her mother, still got the news. She couldn't get through to Bella's phone. So she actually called me. Really? Really? Bella got the first place in the whole school? Her grades are so good? Didn't her sister say that she cheated in the high school entrance examination? Your shameless green tea daughter gave her laxatives in her cup during the high school entrance examination, which made her do poorly. By the way, didn't she tell you? Even in that situation, she still got into a key school. Could she be bad? Her mother was stunned for a while and said, "The school asked me to go back and share my educational experience and asked me to bring her along. Why don't you help me?" I laughed heartily. Have some shame. Big sister. 27. When Bella was a freshman, Claire was seriously absent from college and failed too many courses to continue studying. She insisted on going abroad for exchange and study. Her mother came to find me shamelessly again and wanted to find Bella to sell the house. This house was bought by Bella's father. At that time, Bella's name was written on the house. Over the years, the Bay family's inheritance has been squandered by the two of them. There is not much money left. I asked Bella. After thinking for a while, she agreed. Then she found a lawyer and signed a power of attorney. The requirements were not many. According to the division of Bade Ad's inheritance, her mother called me several times to her ask me. I, in turn, found several strong debaters in games who play at different time zones. After several consecutive outputs, her mother became quiet. Her mother still wanted to go to Bella's university to make trouble. As a result, before she even entered the school gate, she was escorted out by the security guard. After dragging on for a month, Claire cried and made a fuss. Her mother agreed. The first thing Bella did after getting the inheritance was to move her father's grave, completely cutting off their last bit of connection. 28. But I didn't expect that Claire didn't go abroad to study at all. She took the money and just went to live in another city. When I met her in Hai Cheng, she was with several second-generation heirs, chatting and bragging. She seemed to be very popular. During a break in drinking, she walked to the corner and called her mother to ask for living expenses for this month, saying that the expenses abroad are no less than those in China, and asking her mother to send money as soon as possible. Her mother said something to decline. Claire lowered her voice and complained. But Mom divided half of Bella's house price. Isn't that being partial? If you really think I'm important, why not give me the other half? For old age support? It's only a few years until you get the pension. Mom, I know a particularly rich boy now who also likes me very much. He is richer than Bella who eats prawns. You want me to be good, right? Right. Her mother said something, and Claire hung up the phone satisfied. Then she adjusted her expression and walked back to the table with a smile and cheekness. Why are you standing there? Today I said I'll treat everyone. Equality between men and women. I just can't stand those who only take advantage of boys. Amin reached out and smiled to pull her. I know this man. He is the second son in his family. He is useless in both studying and doing business. But he is good at eating, drinking, and having girlfriends. His parents are determined to give the family business to the eldest son. They have only 3 requirements for him. Don't take over the business. Don't go to jail. And don't start a business. I told Bella about this and hummed that Claire would be played very badly. She pulled little Shell's face and made it bigger and bigger. You are so childish. You stayed there for 3 hours just to listen to gossip. Seriously. I thought she was very powerful. She said, bring a can. Little Shell is good today. Let's give it extra food. Didn't you say you want to make it lose weight? Life is short for a dog. Celebrate in time. 29. 3 months later, the second-generation heir got married. I heard it was a shotgun wedding. My dad received the invitation. I originally thought the bride was Claire and specially prepared a good gift first. But when I went there, I found out that the bride was not her. The second-generation heir may be stupid, but none of the first-generation heirs are easy. The mother of the second-generation heir investigated in addition to the things I gave. At the wedding scene, Claire came to make trouble. She held her stomach. If you're pregnant, you can get married. I also have Ah Chow's child. I have a face that is likely to give birth to a boy. Your eldest son only has a daughter. Don't you want a son? The face of the second-generation heir's sister-in-law was ugly. Claire still wouldn't let it go. At this time, his mother stepped forward. She stood there and raised her hand. Soon, the secretary brought over a stack of materials that I had carefully prepared and threw them on Claire with a slap. With pictures and texts. There were materials about her bullying classmates in junior high school. Surveillance photos of her having an improper relationship with hoodlums. In high school, she made two girls drop out. There was her fake academic certificate for studying abroad. With her grades, she couldn't apply to any school at all. The so-called studying abroad was just going around for a trip and following the tourist bus. Her so-called identity as a second-generation landlady was just a tenant. She rented a house in the most luxurious community and then pretended to be the owner and socialized everywhere. For each and every one of these things, Claire's face became uglier and uglier. Finally, she looked at the second-generation heir and cried. But all this is because I love you too much. I just want to be worthy of you. Is there anything wrong? I have your child. The second-generation heir was so angry that he was half dead. You were with 3 men at the same time. I took precautions. Why do you say the child is mine? Claire looked pitiful. Looking at the mother of the second-generation heir, tears flowed down her waterproof makeup face. You just despise the poor and love the rich. Don't you just despise me for being poor and having no money? In this world, is it not worthy to mention love without money? As she was speaking, she had been holding up her phone all along. Apparently, she had started a live stream, probably wanting to seek survival in a desperate situation. Maybe she could become an internet celebrity or something. The mother of the second-generation rich kid, Liang, looked at her for a while. Be steadfast in poverty. If you are a bad person, what does it have to do with being poor? Do you know this person? Bella, a legitimate college entrance examination top scorer in this city. She was recommended for postgraduate studies in her junior year. Her knowledge and character are impeccable. If she took a fancy to my son, I would accept her even if she had no money at all. For someone like you, I would find it unlucky even if you offered yourself for free. The second-generation rich kid hurriedly turned back. Brother Jeremy. My mom is just making an analogy. At this moment, Claire only then saw Bella standing shoulder to shoulder with me behind the crowd. Bella looked directly into her eyes, took a step forward, with graceful demeanor and calmly looked at her. Almost instantly, all the color drained from Claire's face. She turned around and ran away in a staggering manner. I recorded the whole process and by the way gave Bella's mother a reply. Back then you said that I was going to destroy your daughter. I have lived up to the task and done my bit. It's considered a help. 30 There has been no news from Claire for a long time. But Bella's mother got news soon. Her money had been emptied by Claire. The video of her stomping her feet in the community went viral again. In the video, she cursed Claire as an ungrateful wretch, saying that she had always protected her and favored her, saying that she had covered up for her. Back then, when she went to her stepfather's hospital, her stepfather had a sudden illness. It was she who painstakingly complained and got rid of the caregiver. It was she who turned a blind eye and compensated her daughter. She asked Claire, "Isn't this enough?" Claire said it wasn't. She still needed 300 yuan to pay off her online loan. Then she went to snatch her mother's living expenses for this month. Mom, don't you love me the most? I just want to start over in a different place. Bella can hook up with a rich person. So can I. I was just careless this time. I will succeed next time. This is my money for buying medicine. The community was as lively as during the spring festival. Everyone was taking videos and no one was willing to call the police. 31 The houses rented by Bella's mother became cheaper and cheaper. But still she couldn't make ends meet. For so many years, she had never worked. And she found cleaning jobs too tiring. She sued Bella, saying that she didn't fulfill her obligation to support her parents. But Bella had no source of income. She submitted evidence saying that she was still studying. And she also planned to pursue a postgraduate degree after graduating from college and maybe even a Ph.D. later. Roughly calculated, it would take about 10 years. How could Bella's mother endure that? She came to Bella's school to make a scene. She started calling Bella by her nickname again. Since Claire came, she had always addressed Bella by her full name and never called her nickname again. Bibi. Mom only has you now. She wiped her tears and cried downstairs in Bella's dormitory, crying to every passing student. Mom only has you now. Claire has changed now. Mom really has no way out now. Are you going to watch Mom die? Die right, here in your school. She rambled on about her current misery. Just as she was talking vigorously, a basin of water was poured down from the second floor. Oops. Sorry. I poured it wrong. A girl apologized. I thought there was a person down there. When there was money. You called people shameless things. When there's no money. It's dear Bibi. People really live longer when they have no shame. Right? The discussion voices with microphones were very loud. Really? Saying these things is to seek sympathy? Whoever is more miserable is right? Then wouldn't those in medicine be unrivaled? Nonsense. Don't those in mathematics deserve a place? Did those in geological exploration say anything? Now the threshold of our school is getting lower and lower. Can anyone come in? The security office should be complained about. Then Bella walked out. Her mother's eyes lit up immediately. The scene was silent. She walked towards her mother. Passed by without stopping for a step. Walked away with big strides. Didn't even look at her once. The onlookers around let out a long breath. No, the Madonna saintly person. Awesome. Her mother obviously didn't understand why Bella had become like this. She carefully chased after her. Pitifully. Just like her daughter once was. Once. Bella constantly numbed herself and constantly fantasized. In her fantasy, her mother loved her consistently. But in reality, she had been abandoned long ago. In her fantasy, everyone liked her. She had many good friends. She tried hard to greet everyone in chat. But in reality, she had always been bullied and laughed at. Now, she has shattered all her fantasies. Bella, are you sick? I can call the number of the 4th hospital. The 4th hospital is a mental hospital. Family members have such compulsory rights. The bullet that Bella's mother had threatened and scolded her with countless times came back after many years and hit her right between the eyebrows. Bella's mother froze on the spot. The rain was falling more and more heavily. I stood in place with an umbrella, watching Bella approaching step by step. The umbrella from many years ago had been repaired. The shadow of Bella chasing after her mother with that umbrella had gradually blurred. Bella's mother saw this umbrella, and suddenly trembled. It's that umbrella. It was the umbrella that was beaten but still chased after and sent out in the rain. It was the child's sincere, pure and unreserved affection. She looked at Bella. Stunned. Quiet and silent. Suddenly, tears welled up. Truly shedding tears. Bibi's mom. Mom was really confused. She stepped forward. Bella didn't look back even once. Some things cannot be compensated for. The torn scars always leave malice. The wound has healed. But the pain should not be forgotten. The bowl of water that wasn't held evenly has been spilled. Spilt water cannot be gathered up. Extra chapter. A long time later, when Claire came to ask Bella's mother for money for the 5th time, her mother finally couldn't bear it anymore. She called the 4th hospital. She really sent Claire to a mental hospital after being discharged due to lack of money. Claire, who was furious, did the same and sent her mother in as well. Claire had no money and couldn't endure the hardship of going to work. She came up with a good idea. She simply started a live stream. Controversial fame is also fame. In her live stream, she specifically talked about her past misdeeds. Although there were many people scolding her, the traffic was really good. As a result, within a few days, the live stream room was blocked. She almost disappeared again. The last time I heard about her was when Claire called me. Bella answered the phone. Claire lost a lot of money in order to turn her situation around. Lend me 300,000. I will definitely turn things around. 33,000. Or even 300 is fine. Considering that I am sort of your matchmaker. Without me, how could you have known Bella? How could you make her fall in love with you? It's all my credit. No. I liked him a long time ago. After Bella finished speaking, she hung up the phone. I suddenly turned my head. What? Nothing. I was lying to her. No. I want to hear it again even if it's a lie. I put my hand on the sofa and pushed aside the dog face of Lil Shell, who insisted on squeezing over. Do you say it here? Or shall we go upstairs and talk slowly? The warm sun is like frost, casting layers of light and shadow under the window curtain. Her eyes are like lamps, with a slight smile, bright and beautiful. At that moment, like finding a light in a dark room, the fluorescence is resplendent.